Well, there's just so much of the American mythology in the rodeo. You know, there's these open landscapes and sunsets and adrenaline and alcohol and barbecue and dirt and denim and rhinestones, hairspray, nail polish. What else do we have in common with drag here? So there is, you know, the rodeo really is this kind of traditional form of drag performance.
You're still here. Are you liking it?
I'm not a house key.
It's kind of a unique.
A key that
Can you start off by telling us, our audience, what National Anthem is about?
Well, National Anthem is really at its core a love story, but it's also a Western for our new world. It speaks to, you know, that this is a land where we all belong and all of us need to kind of find and build our lives in it. So many people are feeling that, you know, these symbols of country, of you know, these wide open landscapes without markers of who or what to be, and these spaces where, you know, queer people have always been, you know, they've been around since the dawn of time, has become part of this national conversation where some people are trying to kind of erase them, and yet you know, we survive and continue to tell our stories and build these safe spaces.
As a queer person who grew up in the South, and you know, spent most of my life in very small towns, whether that was in Texas or North Carolina, I have seen such a seismic shift in the way that those communities are represented in such a positive way that I think has enacted like actual immediate change. I think all of these things kind of being in vogue is a result of that. It's a direct result of fellow queer people, queer, you know, Midwesterners or Southerners sort of like staking their flag a bit in their own land and going like, well, you know, why shouldn't the spotlight be on us? We are as integral to the fabric of America as, you know, any other community. And just because the television or just because, you know, a news correspondent or a politician wants to lead you to believe that they actually don't populate those areas and you know, in order to garner some sort of power, it's not actually representative of the world at large, and it does not do service to the you know, the fabric of America. So I think that, yeah, all of this art is a direct result of people just going like, no, we've always been here, we're always going to be here, so why don't we just start like actually, you know, showing that off a bit.
It was an incredibly vulnerable experience for me. And, you know, I think there was kind of this spiritual feeling of like, let's just dive into the deep end and not be scared of anything. And we got to do that. And I think we hopefully everyone took a lot away about themselves and their experience with that. But I certainly did, yeah.
It felt really almost, I don't want to say dangerous, but like a little punk rock to be like a trans woman in an American flag, you know, like out there, you know, with her body sort of front and center, because I think there's maybe a lot of people who don't believe that I should have access to that, you know, that symbol. And so it just, yeah, it felt really punk.
I'm excited that pop culture is having a bit of a moment with rural queerness because they really do deserve to be seen in the way that I think we're finally getting to.
Even just a proximity to queerness can open us up to new possibilities and ways of thinking beyond the kind of confines of the labels and boxes that just can't contain who we really are. And I think that the best art is something that is expansive, and that's really what we're hoping to share with National Anthems.